Have you ever felt like you were one step away from abundance, but something invisible was holding you back? As if, despite all the effort, divine prosperity insisted on knocking on the wrong door? Well, you're not alone. What few know is that there is an ancient wisdom hidden between the lines of history, the secret prayer of Enoch. Yes, the one who walked so close to God that he simply disappeared close to him. Imagine having access to a prayer capable of unlocking your spiritual energy, aligning your heart with the true source of wealth, and opening the doors to the manifestation of abundance in an almost magical way. And the best, no complicated formulas, no unattainable secrets, just genuine faith, trust, and the application of eternal principles. This instant wealth is not a magic trick, but the response to a sincere and powerful connection with the spiritual mission that each of us carries. Here, you will discover how to use this Enoch's prayer to generate wealth, attract protection, discernment, and, as a bonus, live a life of gratitude and justice. Oh, and if you think all of this is too good to be true, it's because you don't yet know the strength of a soul aligned with true divine guidance. Are you ready to awaken your inner power and share prosperity with the world? So, come with me, because what you will learn now could very well be the beginning of your biggest spiritual and financial turnaround. Few people know, but hidden among the oldest lines of sacred wisdom, there is a precious jewel, the Enoch's prayer. This man, so connected with God that he was taken to him without passing through death, left a spiritual legacy that carries pure spiritual energy. Reciting this prayer is not just repeating words. It is an act of deep faith, a living manifestation of trust in the divine. When done with respect and true devotion, it has the power to unlock what many call instant wealth. We are not just talking about money, but about divine prosperity in all areas of life. The Enoch's prayer it is, therefore, a spiritual key capable of opening doors of abundance and divine guidance. Repeat after me. Lord, Creator of the universe, eternal God, in you I place all my faith and trust. Grant me the wisdom that you offered to your chosen ones, as you did with Enoch, so that I may understand the mysteries of abundance and divine truth. May I never lose discernment in my choices, and may your light illuminate my path, removing every obstacle and guiding me towards divine prosperity. May I be protected from the temptations of the world, and may your hand of justice guide me, removing distractions and keeping me firm in the purpose you have outlined for my life. Teach me to use wealth, not just for my own good, but to benefit those around me, spreading your blessing and inspiring others to seek the same faith and connection I have with the Lord. I ask you to grant me not only material prosperity, but also the wisdom to manage everything given to me with generosity, love, and justice. May I be a channel of your grace, multiplying the blessings I receive and sharing my wealth with others, creating a network of prosperity and light. May your protection be with me at all times, and may my life be a reflection of your divine will. May, like Enoch, I live in harmony with your spirit, fulfilling the mission given to me, being faithful to you and your divine guidance. Amen. Reciting this prayer is not just asking, it is also aligning with the celestial energy that governs abundance. By doing so, you are in tune with the divine forces that govern creation. It is not a mere formula, but a sincere request for connection with God, seeking prosperity with justice, wisdom, and generosity. When done with an open heart, the Enoch's prayer it has the power to attract not only material wealth, but also an inner peace that reflects in all areas of your life. Now, let's be honest. Who has never wanted to find that secret key to overcoming obstacles and changing their life? Because this prayer is exactly that spiritual key. It is like a divine code that, when pronounced with faith, begins a process of transformation that passes through the mind, spirit, and, inevitably, material results. Of course, there is no point in just reciting for the sake of reciting, like someone reading a contract without understanding it. True strength comes from connection with God and intention aligned with one's spiritual mission. And look, If you want practical advice, establish a simple ritual to include this prayer in your routine. It can be when you wake up, to start the day energized by divine guidance, or before going to sleep, reinforcing your request for protection, wisdom, and generation of wealth. Create a peaceful environment. Take a deep breath and recite each word as if you were planting seeds of abundance in your own spiritual field. The harvest, my friend, will come, and with it, blessings beyond what you dared imagine. When we talk about instant wealth, many only think about the miracle of money appearing out of nowhere. But the real magic begins much earlier, in spiritual alignment. Recite the Enoch's prayer with faith and trust. It is like adjusting the rudder of a boat towards the current of divine prosperity. Without this alignment, the person rows against the tide, getting tired in place. It is the spiritual energy that opens doors, dissolves blockages, and makes life flow more lightly. This alignment does not require complicated rituals or secret knowledge. It asks for something much more powerful: presence and genuine intention. It is in that moment when you close your eyes, connect with God, and feel divine guidance coursing through every cell of your being that true manifestation begins. Obstacles that seemed insurmountable begin to fall apart. Divine prosperity doesn't come just because we ask for it. It comes because we become ready recipients to receive it. A practical tip to strengthen this alignment is to combine prayer with the practice of conscious gratitude. Before reciting the Enoch's prayer, mentally list 3 things you are grateful for. This raises your spiritual vibration and tunes your spirit to the abundance already present in the universe. As the wise men say, gratitude is the magnet of abundance. This simple practice, repeated daily, transforms not only your external reality, but also your internal state. And, of course, it's normal that at first the mind tries to sabotage. Will it really work? At these times, remember that faith is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. Keep going, even if you don't see any big signs at first. The connection with God deepens in silence and persistence. And when you least expect it, doors that seemed locked will open with a lightness that only true divine guidance can explain. The great beauty of Enoch's prayer is that she doesn't just seek material riches. She invokes divine guidance to walk the right path. In each word, there is a silent request for wisdom and discernment, essential to understanding the laws of abundance. After all, what's the point of attracting wealth without knowing how to keep it or how to use it for your spiritual mission? It is at this point that many stumble. They achieve goods, but they are lost without direction. Prayer teaches us that spiritual clarity is true gold. Ask for guidance with an open heart, and you will see the difference in your daily life. You know that kind of inspiration that seems to come out of nowhere? That sudden intuition to change a plan or accept an opportunity. Well, this is the manifestation of divine guidance working in your favor. Don't underestimate these whispers of the soul. They are clear signs that your connection with God is strengthened, guiding your steps with justice and wisdom. One practice that can help you is keeping a guidance diary. Every day, after reciting the Enoch's prayer, write down any ideas, insights, or feelings that arise. Sometimes God speaks to us in subtle ways, and writing down these signs helps you capture them with more insight. Furthermore, writing reinforces your commitment to the spiritual mission of seeking not only wealth, but also understanding and personal evolution. And here's a reading tip to enhance this process. The book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. He talks a lot about listening to the signals from the universe, or as I like to say, listening to the spiritual energy that surrounds us. Reading these types of stories fuels faith and trust in divine guidance. When we combine prayer, conscious practice, and openness of heart, there is no obstacle capable of diverting us from the abundance that God has prepared for us. One of the most powerful aspects of Enoch's prayer is the request for protection and discernment. It's not enough to just attract wealth. You need to know how to protect it and use it wisely and fairly. The modern world is full of traps, tempting proposals, quick paths, and dubious shortcuts. Therefore, This prayer reinforces the need to maintain trust in divine guidance, so that each financial decision is aligned with spiritual principles and not with the illusion of easy gain. Discernment is like a light bulb in the darkness of false opportunities. When we cultivate this spiritual energy, we begin to notice what seems good but is not, and what really comes with divine prosperity. Sometimes the best choice will not be the quickest or the most profitable in the short term, but it will be the most faithful to the spiritual mission that God has entrusted to you. This is where wisdom flourishes, in knowing how to say no when necessary, even if yes seems more seductive. To strengthen this discernment, I recommend a simple practice. Before making any important decision, recite the Enoch's prayer and then do a brief meditation, asking for clarity. Ask yourself, does this choice honor the abundance God desires for me and others? If the answer comes with inner peace, follow it. If there is uneasiness, perhaps it is the sign of divine protection saying, wait. Gratitude for protection, even in the form of no, is an essential part of the process. Want a practical example? Imagine that you received a highly profitable business proposal, but something deep down bothers you. Instead of ignoring this feeling, listen. Discernment is the gift that avoids future losses and maintains your journey of generating wealth within divine justice. Remember, spiritual protection does not always manifest itself in visible miracles. She often acts in silence, removing anything that could delay her plans. And that, friend, is pure blessing. When we think about instant wealth from the perspective of Enoch's prayer, we understand that the objective was never to accumulate just for yourself. True divine prosperity carries with it a greater spiritual mission, sharing prosperity. God blesses us not only to meet our needs, but also to be living channels of blessings for others. It's like a river. The more it flows, the more water it receives. The more you share wisely, the more abundance flows your way. The spiritual energy of abundance works best when we let go of the fear of scarcity and embrace trust in divine supply. This doesn't mean distributing everything without criteria, of course. It is using wisdom and discernment to support fair projects, help those who really need it, and inspire others to also seek their connection with God. When we do this, we not only multiply material wealth, but we also strengthen the sacred bond that unites us as children of the same Creator. A practical way to start is to allocate a portion of any extra earnings to causes that touch your heart. It could be helping a family, investing in education for needy young people, supporting an environmental cause. What matters is acting with pure intention and gratitude. As I said, Mother Teresa, we cannot do great things, but we can do small things with great love. Each act of generosity that is born from a connection with God is like a seed of future blessings. And look, anyone who has practiced this knows, the feeling of seeing divine prosperity multiplying through you is priceless. It's like living a spiritual mission in real time, feeling that your life has a positive impact. This generates even more spiritual energy, protection, wisdom, and, guess what? Even more abundance. Because the universe, moved by justice and divine love, responds generously to those who share without expecting immediate return. It's a virtuous cycle that only grows. There is deep wisdom in Enoch's prayer which often goes unnoticed. It teaches us to integrate spirituality and materiality in a harmonious way. Instant wealth, when based only on ego, becomes weight. But when founded on faith, gratitude, and trust in divine guidance, it becomes a blessing for the world. Divine prosperity is not a sin. It is a spiritual mission accomplished. And yes, God wants to see His children prosper, with justice, wisdom, and discernment. The key to this integration lies in conscious gratitude and the practice of generosity. By recognizing each achievement as a manifestation of divine love, you connect even more deeply to the spiritual energy of abundance. Materiality then stops being an end in itself and becomes an extension of your spiritual mission. You understand that money, possessions, and opportunities are tools to expand your purpose and impact lives in a positive and fair way. Want a simple example of how to apply this? When you receive a raise, a promotion, or any unexpected gain, before celebrating, stop for a moment and give thanks in prayer. Then think, how can I use some of this blessing to fulfill my spiritual mission? It doesn't have to be anything grand. Sometimes, donating knowledge, offering wise advice, or even a gesture of support already builds that bridge between heaven and earth. Pure intention is what strengthens the connection with God. And, of course, don't expect to be a millionaire to start. The spiritual energy of abundance moves in those who are faithful in little. And, let's face it, whoever is faithful in a little is preparing to be faithful in a lot. Manifesting divine prosperity is not only attracting blessings to yourself, but becoming a multiplier of God's light and justice in the world. When spirituality and materiality join hands, a strength is born that not even the greatest of obstacles can control. Now that you've discovered the secrets of Enoch's prayer, the question is, what are you going to do with this power in your hands? Abundance, divine prosperity, insight, and protection are all within your reach, but the key is how you choose to use them. It's time to reflect. Are you ready to transform your life, not just financially, but spiritually? Are you ready to integrate material wealth with the mission of sharing and serving others? Remember, the true path to instant wealth is through trust, gratitude, and the understanding that everything you receive comes from God. It not only gives you what you need to thrive, but also the tools to help others follow the same path. What you do with this spiritual energy will determine the impact you have on the world, and, consequently, the amount of blessings you will attract back. Now it's up to you. The Enoch's prayer is ready to be used, but the real transformation comes from your action. Go ahead, start reciting the prayer today, aligning your faith with your steps, and see what happens. True wealth is not something you seek just for yourself, but something you share and multiply as more and more people are touched by your prosperity and generosity. If you like this content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to follow more content that can change your life. The path to divine prosperity begins with one step, and you have already taken yours. Now it's up to you.